So I make pretty good money, but I still drive the same 2011 Tahoe that I've had for years. And here's the reason why. Could I go get some like really nice fancy car? 100% I totally could. Why won't I? Because I don't want to pay the high insurance and I don't want to pay the high car payment on something that's a depreciating asset. I think a lot of times people get stuck trying to keep up with the Joneses when it comes to their lifestyle, and that's what will keep you broke. That's what will keep you broke. Big designer bags, designer clothes that don't hold their value, those are liabilities. They're not assets. I'd rather pour that extra money into an income producing asset. Buying like fancy cars and fancy things doesn't make sense if they don't hold their value or increase in value. Anything that costs you money and doesn't make you money is a liability. For instance, your single family home that you own and live in and pay a mortgage for, that's a liability. That's not an asset. It doesn't produce you any money. People are like, oh, when you sell it, you might make a profit. Do you know that by the end of paying that house off, you've paid almost double for it? So unless you're making double what you paid for it back, or you sell it in a reasonable amount of time where you actually are recouping some of what you paid, it's not an asset. It's a liability.
You see, that's the problem where a lot of these people get on TikTok, all these financial people, and they start talking about finances, and they see everything in the lens of just assets, right? Everything is just assets. I'm not going to buy that. You know what I could do with that money? I could double if I put it in the market. You know, rather than getting that cheeseburger, I'm not going to buy that. I could put money within a couple. It's like every single thing they talk about is assets. When I say they, it's me as well, because I love talking about finance. But I recognize life is not all about just seeing things in that one lens. It is okay to get something that is a liability, especially if you have the money for it. Like for a car, for example. If you have the money for it and it's not that big of a deal and you're paying a pretty good interest rate and you just like the car and you know it's not going to be a huge burden and it's like damn near less than 5% of your monthly income, then who cares, right? It instantly turns to an asset because it brings you some enjoyment in your life. It's something you appreciate. It's something you really want to have. It's okay to have nice things. Now, it's not okay to have a whole bunch of liabilities, right? That's the one thing you do not want to do. You don't want to owe credit cards and have a car you can't afford and have a house you can't afford and now your house poor. That's a different ball game, guys. But if you're saving and you're investing and you're doing all the right things, and you continuously hear videos like this, or you continuously saying to yourself, I am not going to buy this because it's a liability, then what are you working for? What are you saving and you're investing for? A majority of us are saving and we're investing, number one, to have time, right? Freedom of time. And have financial freedom to do all the things that we want. That way, we don't have to just make all these little decisions every single day about the things that we do, right? Buying a car is not always the worst thing out there, guys, because hello, you need a car. You certainly need a car. You are going to need a car, guys. We live in the United States. You need to drive to work. You need to drive everywhere you want to go. You're going to need a car. So the whole key is getting a car you could afford and not getting rid of the car so prematurely, holding on to it as long as you can, enjoying not having monthly payments. And if you want to get a newer car, you're able to afford it, then go ahead and get it. Now, I'm not saying to get a car every 5-6 years. No. What I'm saying is it is a liability we're all going to have eventually, period, because we all need a car. And she also mentioned how a house is considered a liability. There's some truth to it. If you are extremely house poor, then yes, you're going to be struggling every single month. You're going to have no money to save, no money to invest. So it's a liability that's not allowing you to save and to invest. But if you're getting a house and the house payment is below, let's say 15%, or 20% of your monthly income they're bringing in, and you're able to still enjoy things in life, it's not a liability. Now, I get it. There is a cost associated with getting a house, right? You're obviously paying property taxes, you're paying homeowners insurance, maintenance going on in your house. There is a cost associated with it. But there's a cost also with a car, getting an oil change and car insurance. It's a cost in all this stuff that we need in our life, right? But a house, obviously, is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle choice. If you have the money for it, you saved up for it, you got good credit, you can manage this house, then it's a lifestyle choice, right? The same way getting a nice car, if you could afford it, it's a lifestyle choice. You don't necessarily need it, but damn it, if you want it, go ahead and go for it. So that's the number one thing that I'm even getting better at, when I start talking about finance, is to not always poo-poo liabilities and not take all the enjoyment out of people's lives by just thinking nothing but assets, assets, assets. Because I mean, really, guys, when you're gonna go, we're all gonna die eventually. Do you want to be known as a person who just built all this massive amount of wealth? You'll just be the richest person in the grave, okay? You want to be the richest person in the grave? Then by all means, go ahead. But you don't need to live that way. You need to know how to enjoy things in life, but not excessively, right? You do certain things in life that you want to spend money on that might be a liability. Go for it, right? Go for it, but just do it responsibly and don't get overwhelmed and do it for the right reasons. Doing it because everyone else is doing it is not the right reason. Doing it because you feel like, you know what, I make a certain amount of money and this is what we do when we make a certain amount of money, that's a bad reason. Just do the things that you want to do. You save up for it. You're investing in the same time. Get money in your 401k, your brokerage account, get the money in a high yield savings account. You have your emergency fund. Damn, if you want to buy a car, go ahead and buy a car. Drop a comment down below, guys, and let me know what you think about all this assets and liability nonsense. At the same time, hit the like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Peace.